Hi, these comments are for SM. I am Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com, and I'm listening to a speaking practice test that you sent me yesterday. Let's take a look at the email here. You say, Dear Professor, this is my attempt to answer the question. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Why or why not? Use details and examples to explain your answer. It is more important to study math or science than it is to study art or literature. You say, I tried something like 10 to 15 times to get satisfied, but I also feel really guilty about doing this. I don't know if it's okay to try this many times. Of course it's okay, right? Think about when you first rode a bike for the first time. Did you give up after you fell off the first time, or did you try and try and try until you felt really comfortable with what you were doing, right? So I have no problem when you try many times to get something right when you do a speaking practice test. That's going to help strengthen really your delivery, your language use, and your topic development. So it gives you more experience, and eventually these three areas, your pronunciation, your language use, your topic development, the more you practice, the more automatic it's going to become later on, and the higher your speaking score is going to be. And I'm stating that based on my experience of having graded over 25,000 speaking practice tests. I've had many students, they complete hundreds of practice tests before they actually get 26. So it takes a lot of practice. And in many cases, they practiced doing it over and over and over before they emailed it to me, and eventually they didn't need to do that anymore, and then they registered to take the TOEFL exam. They get a really high score. All right? So don't worry about that. You're doing a good job. You're doing what you need to do. Okay, so let's take a look at, have the independent rubrics here. Okay, let's listen.
Art and literature would be very dull and austere, but I believe that one of the most important aspects of our modern society is getting advanced in science.
Okay, so spending more time on science.
Even though our life without art and literature would be very dull and austere, but I believe that one of the most important aspects.
Your first problem is you said although and but. So from the beginning, you have a grammar error. You have although, which is a subordinated conjunction. You have but, which is a coordinated conjunction, and that creates a mixed construction. Go to Google. Here are the key words. What is a mixed sentence construction in academic writing? See if you can learn about that.
Aspect of our modern society is getting advanced in science. So this is the reason that I think we have to invest more in science rather than any other fields of study. For example, if I want to be specific, during the past pandemic of COVID-19, this was the science that helped us to go through an unprecedented event that our world was struggling for 2 years.
An
This was
unprecedented event, and I got to check your connector there.
an unprecedented event that our world was struggling for 2 years.
I would say in which our world, or through which our world was struggling. I would say through which our world was struggling. It means our world was struggling through this pandemic. So that's how I would rephrase that.
This was the science that helped us to make vaccine.
Okay, so the benefit is that science was important in helping develop a vaccine to combat the coronavirus during the pandemic that we've just gone through. We're almost through the other side of it, I think. I'm in California here. You never know. We could have a huge outbreak, and then everybody gets locked down again. And I hope that doesn't happen. Okay, let's take a look at what you did here. I think this is a pretty good response, right? You had a couple of language use issues. Be careful of your connectors. You want to do more practice, go to Google, type in the keywords TOEFL transition words. Find one of my blog posts from Better TOEFL Scores as it relates to that topic. You can practice that a little bit more. I'm thinking I'm going to put you at about 23 to 25 points on this practice test. I think you did have some language use issues. You're having some minor pronunciation issues, maybe with your intonation, for example, you can work on. So that's why I'm going to score you the way that I did. All right, thank you.